Alright everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So I will do a proper channel update today, talking what's been happening the past week and everything like that. But to TLDR it, your boy did have plans to record some read-throughs and other videos this holiday break. But unfortunately, between family stuff, getting stressed out about family stuff, which then made me sick, I was basically knocked out for the entire week. Like, my voice was completely shot. Just recovered like a day or so ago. So I took a little bit more of a break just to kind of recover my voice, because I didn't want to overstress it again, and kind of have to delay these for longer. So unfortunately plans got shot to shit by unforeseen circumstances. But we're back at it again today, so we're going to get caught up with some Shonen Jump chapter stuff today. After that, read-throughs will be back to a consistent schedule going into the new year. I was planning on doing some this week. I might still do some tomorrow, depending on how I feel. But if not, then look forward to come back next week. We'll be back to the regular 3-series rotation again. So we'll start off with Black Hammer, then we'll move on to Battle Angel Alita, and then we'll do Bride's Story as well. I'm also going to put Yona of the Dawn into the mix for those. So for next week, I'm probably going to do a read-through of Alita and Yona of the Dawn, and then Black Hammer and Yona of the Dawn, just to get caught up with the 2 new volumes that released for that. So yeah, look forward to it. Like I said, I'll do a proper channel update with details about that later. Without further ado, let us get into it for the last Shonen Jump chapters of the year, before we move into the new year. So yeah, without further ado, let us get into it with Kaiju No.8, Chapter 99 by Naoya Matsumoto, with translation by David Evelyn and lettering by Brandon Bovia. Feels like it's been such a long time since I've read the Kaiju chapter last, but yeah, so we have, and without Mina Ashiro, it's trump card. Humanity will have no way to stop them. Again, I love, almost the trap plant. What are those trap plants called? The vines. You all know which one I'm talking about. The trap, the vine plants. That's exactly what... It's like the red ones, like Super Mario as well. That's exactly what number 9's, little, hand things look like. Again, I really do love that design. I think that looks really good. And you have Kafka shouting out, "Mina!" as he's just, barreling through all the explosion kaiju. And he's like, "I have to get there. I need to get to her, but..." Oh, shit. And you see all the kaiju just blasting the little eye lasers into the ground, trying to get to the human bunkers. And he's like, "Damn it!" as he's just powering through them and smashing through all the kaiju. And Jeff, "Hibino! Number 8's power is essential to neutralizing number 9. Head to Tachikawa for backup right now." He's like, "I know that, sir. Just give me a moment." And you see, whoa! You see Defense Force grunts just being blown away by the explosions and the blasts. Oh my god, man! And you see all the citizens of the battle crew just cowering as they hear the explosions and everything up top. And you see Kafka just gritting his fist as you have again the Defense Force just bleeding and bruising and battered, trying to draw aggro with their fire. It's "Draw their attention this way. Don't let them attack the citizens." And Kafka's just "I can't. Just leave them all for dead." And you see as the citizens are watching on the screen, "No, it's Captain Ashiro." It's "It's no good. This is hopeless." It's "This is bad. That signal hijack is stirring up negative emotions in the officers and citizens at a rapid rate. If they're forced to witness Captain Ashiro's death, the officers will lose their morale." It's "Damn it!" You see Kafka just doing a little axe kick on another kaiju's head to slam it in. He's "Damn it! What do I do? I gotta do something. I've gotta. And you see him just getting more and more frustrated and panicking. He's trying to barrel through the kaiju as quickly as he can. And Number's "You humans are always like this. You can never let things go, and you lose what's most important to you because of it." Oh, goddamn, bro. And you see him, number 9, just pushing Mina into the mass of the mouths he's created, as you slowly just get crushed into them. Ooh. And you see, as he does, he chomped her in a little cocoon as he's melted into her. It's "Stay there and seethe. I win." And Kafka just screams "Stop!" And then the defense force grunts like, "Number 8, please, you have to go!" This guy have to go. It's like, "We can be replaced, but Captain Ashiro, she's the one person we can't afford to lose." He's like, "I have to." It's like a kaiju reading. What the hell is this, bro? And you see him looking at this guy, it's like this dark, ominous, like almost cloud. He's like, "You've got to be kidding. What's with this huge reading? What could be emitting such a high?" And you see God, and then you see more like the giant, like empty-faced kaiju. Again, this is gonna be like a deep cut. I don't know how many people are gonna get this, but anyone that's played FromSoft's Dark Souls 2, these remind me very much of like the giants and that like the Lost Giants with like the empty crater face, with how they look at like the almost like tree-like structure, like the little branches and stuff growing off of them. I knew it. You see a boom, it was like as a bunch of icicle blasters get fired and all the kaiju get frozen. And Kafka's like, "Huh? This sudden chill." And you have a "Sir," it's like, "Please go. I'll handle things here." Shit. And you got fucking Reno coming in clutch with like, I don't know if this is like, he's got like extra like guns or something. He's got like this little like fan of like, I assume guns fanning out behind his back, so I assume he can do like multi-shots now. Yeah. So I guess quick thoughts on the chapter. So on the one hand, there's some elements I'm mixed on. There's some elements I really, really liked about this. So the stuff I'm mixed on is how much number 9 is kind of playing up like how important Ashiro is. And it's like, oh, you know, it's like, I mean, Ashiro's your trump card. Without them, like, you know, humanity has nothing. Like, I don't know if the series really played up or emphasized, you know, Mina's importance before this. And again, it's being kind of hindered by the fact that she really was kind of like a stoic personality up until this point. Like, we really didn't know much about her except, you know, how much Kafka idolized her, you know, like how much he looked up to her and like how much he wanted to stand next to her, and the fact that, you know, she had the power and capacity like to take out these giant kaiju, things like that. But I feel like the fact that we didn't really get like an understanding of like how unique or special her power was, or like, or what makes it so unique and special, I kind of feel like undercuts the whole like number 9 being like, "Mwah ha ha ha," like, you know, this was my plan all along, to capture Mina Ashiro to kind of, you know, put humanity on his last legs and to kind of make them surrender and break their spirit and all that. It really didn't land, I think, with the impact it should have or would have. So I think that's kind of like my biggest complaint with this. Like, I feel like there's just been too much left unexplained at this point regarding, you know, what number 9's actual goal is. If there are more kaiju, like who the mastermind behind that stuff is. I think if we'd have even at least hints towards that, would have made a lot of this transitionary stuff smoother. But apart from that, I really did like the kind of Kafka's kind of like impatience. Doesn't seem like impatience, frustration, in like his inability to be like, you know, what can I do? I'm not powerful enough to, you know, take them all out as quickly as possible and run to Mina. And how he's kind of grappling between like his personal feelings, where it's like, you know, Mina's a close personal friend of mine. You know, romantic stuff potentially implied. I don't know like how much to actually develop the romance stuff. But be like, you know, someone I really care about. I need to save her because I can't lose her. And at the same time, him being like, but you know, I can't give up on the defense force either because they're fighting with everything they have. I can't just let them stand here and be slaughtered for my own personal selfish reasons. So I really like seeing like the kind of the moral conundrum Kafka's being put into with number 9, like how well number 9 read him to be like, yeah, you know, I'm going to put you in a position where you're going to have to make a difficult choice where you're going to have to lose one or the other, and it's going to like really weigh heavily down on you. So I really do like that aspect of it, the chapter where it's kind of like, you know, kind of trying to make a decision, like being almost being held back by indecision. So I did like that aspect of it. Apart from that, Mina getting like captured and potentially absorbed, like I'm not gonna go full hog into that train. I'll see how it plays out before I kind of comment on that. But it's a little bit disappointing to be like, oh, setting her up to be like, oh, this is like she's the big defense forces, like, silver bullet, and then to have her have like little to no development, and then be like, oh no, now she's been captured by Number 9 as a plot device for his evil machinations. It's kind of like, all right, Kaiju, like what are you doing with this? So I want to hold off on thoughts on that until we see where this actually goes. But yeah. And then I think the last thing I want to comment on, because I mentioned this way back at the beginning, where I kind of mentioned that, I wanted the Defense Force to take a loss in this arc, in this fight, which I felt like would have led to some really interesting like plot and character developments. And I feel like the fact that it was immediately undercut by everyone kind of just like eking out a victory in their fight kind of undercuts this secondary moment where Number 9's like, oh, I had a secondary plan in place. And he's like, oh, like you see the Defense Force, like the grunts all like being like blasted, torn up, and being like bleeding and battered, being like trying to be like, go after her, and Kafka's just like seeing them get blown apart and being like, no, I can't just stand here and watch this. I feel like the first victory kind of undercut this one, because I'm like, all right, at this point I can't really trust that, something is going to happen to them, that there's going to be an actual like tangible loss that they're going to face and they're going to have to overcome, especially with like, Reno coming in clutch at the end. That was a sick ass scene with like the transition with like the Kaiju just standing there next one, like boom 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 as they all froze. Sick ass scene, really loved that. But again, Reno coming in clutch like that kind of undercuts any tension I'm feeling with like, is anything really going to happen to the Defense Force at this point? But again, like I said, it's too early to tell. There could very well be a twist that happens. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. I'll have to actually go back. It's been so long since my last video, though. I can't recall if I said that Reno was going to come in clutch, or if the other numbers users were also going to come in clutch, or if that was just something I discussed with my little brother outside of videos. But I'll go back and look at that. But yeah, I was predicting that this was going to happen, so not a big surprise there. But I'm really looking forward to how Reno's developed, because I'm pretty sure those, like the fan of like Gunblaze or whatever he's got on his back are new. So looking forward to seeing like what Reno's abilities are like now, and how the rest of the division has developed as well. Decent chapter, but we'll see what 2024 brings to Kaiju the next year, and hopefully it will kind of reignite my passion for the series. With all that said, I hope you all did enjoy this video. If you did, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I mentioned, I'll do a proper channel update today talking about read-throughs, stuff at the beginning about how I was sick and everything like that, so look forward to that. I'll also get around to the other Shonen Jump chapters as well today. So until next time, this is Ash. I'll talk to you all later.